Our ancestors are watching, all of us, over keeping our country protected. I can feel them. They're here in our spirit. They're here, watching us.
For Vicky Abdullah and Shirley Wanyabong, the land around Uliri Station is sacred.
Another lovely night tonight again.
Their stories date back to the Dreamtime. This land, more than 600 kilometres north of Perth, isn't just the traditional home of the Jiwal people, it's also a haven for rare and endangered animals and plants. But beneath the surface lies the nation's biggest undeveloped uranium deposit, to be the site of an open-cut mine 10 kilometres long.
I lived all my life here on Uliri.
Now, traditional owners can't access the country their ancestors traversed for millennia.
I think this is how far we go, right here to this gate.
For a long time we've been fighting it. We went court twice. We'll keep having meetings and all that. Fight to stop this uranium.
Canadian mining giant Cameco bought the mining lease from BHP in 2012 and is pressing ahead with plans for a mine costing up to $1 billion and promising economic benefits. Cup Day is one of the biggest annual events in Leonora, one of the nearest towns, almost 300 kilometres away.
Job security, town security. I mean, Leonora is here for a reason, and the reason being is that it's mining.
The prospect of more than 1,000 construction jobs and 300 ongoing positions is big news here.
Personally, yeah, I support it. Community itself is, they're in support, but there's different views as well.
Back in 2009, when BHP was seeking approval under federal environment laws to mine Uliri, it hired ecologist Stefan Eberhard to carry out some of the required studies. He's an underground ecologist and expert cave diver. Due to border closures, he's been confined to exploring Tasmanian caves.
It's there. Very long legs and antennae.
At Uliri, he made a remarkable discovery.
Hot and sandy, but below your feet there are aquifers and only a few metres under the ground. You wouldn't have a clue that it's teeming with life.
A vast array of tiny creatures, many of which don't exist anywhere else in the world.
They're a time capsule. They're a window. They are living fossils, a lot of them. These creatures have evolved over thousands and millions of years to survive in complete darkness under the ground.
After Cameco took over the mining lease in 2012, it made a formal application to the federal government to get environmental approval for the mine. The application was being considered by Environment Minister Melissa Price, who said in 2018 it wasn't ready to proceed.
Hello.
Then, the 2019 federal election loomed.
Great stuff. Good on you. Good stuff.
2 weeks into the election campaign, environmental approval documents were posted online. Approval had been granted the night before the government entered caretaker mode.
The federal government is rejecting criticism it rushed through approval for a controversial uranium mine in Western Australia.
I'm assuming that all the studies have been done correctly, the approvals have been put in place and it's been signed off.
The Australian Conservation Foundation spent a year investigating the process leading up to the approval.
What we've seen through Uliri is backroom deals, 11th hour and rushed approvals, broken promises, bypass protections. It has been a shabby process from the get-go.
Anti-nuclear campaigner Dave Sweeney led the investigation.
What we found was deeply concerning.
In this presentation to Environment Department officials from 2017, Cameco pushed for the requirement that it demonstrate no species could be made extinct by the mine to be dropped.
The company look at that and says that's unreasonable, that is too high a hurdle, we cannot prove that ever.
The department wasn't moved. It wanted proof mining wouldn't cause an extinction. In June 2018, Cameco invited then Resources Minister Matt Canavan to meet in the West Australian goldfields. It asked him to help get the project signed off before the election. What followed was a flurry of correspondence between Cameco, ministers and the department to make that happen.
Minister Price received the final assessment package 9:30 p.m. on the night before the Prime Minister went to declare an election, and she approved it that same night. 600 plus pages, we understand, of detailed documentation approved in a matter of hours.
Some of the conditions Cameco was pushing to have scrapped, including that it prove it would not cause the extinction of the animals, were removed. According to the department, there was a real chance one or more of the 12 subterranean fauna species would be lost. Cameco says its interactions with the government were common practice and believes the changes will be more workable and environmentally sound. Melissa Price referred the ABC's questions to the current Environment Minister, Susan Lee, who said the department advised it was open to the minister to approve the mine. She also said she wouldn't be revisiting previous ministerial decisions. The Environment Department said the approval came with 32 strict conditions to protect the environment, including subterranean animals. Senator Matt Canavan stands by his intervention.
It's required under our environmental laws that the Minister for Environment consult with relevant ministers. So it is a matter of course that the Minister for Environment would write to me when I was the Minister for Resources.
He believes due process was followed and the law applied appropriately.
We've got to be careful about how we apply these laws in these instances so they don't lead to absurd situations where people can't have jobs because of a artificial definition of different types of species.
What's the point in having a process that is designed to conserve biodiversity if that process ultimately fails?
Traditional owners Vicky and Shirley say you can't put a price on what will be lost if the mine goes ahead.
It's just like we lost our spirit inside of us, because growing up here, it's our place.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.